We've got Sandra calling in from Ohio. She says, my evil boss wants me to stay in a haunted hotel. Oh, I personally would love that. I think it'd be
Hi, how you doing?
super good time.
Hello.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi, yeah. Hi, thank you for taking my call. As Erin just said, I have a work trip coming up, and my boss, we're holding an event in a hotel that is rumored to be haunted, and she thinks it would just be really convenient for me to just stay right there in that hotel. And I don't really believe in ghosts, but the idea just makes me feel a little uneasy. Like somebody reported that a ghost crawled into bed with her and had sex with her. I don't want that to happen. And not that I think it's likely, but it just makes me I feel a little uneasy. Help me out here. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. Somebody had a ghost. Okay, I don't know. I think maybe bring a flashlight, what kind of like safety measures do you have in your state? I'm not sure. I think I would love to go into a hotel that was like reported to be haunted. I think I would like set up a lot of like tests and like try to catch something like that. I don't really get freaked out by that stuff anymore. I used to. I genuinely was afraid of the dark until I was like 30, because I had this like idea that there was like actual ghosts and demons and things in the world. But I don't get afraid of that stuff very much anymore. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. That sounds like a really crazy situation.
Yeah, and it's not like I actively think like ghosts definitely exist, but just the idea, like I have like a recurring nightmare of like being watched while I'm sleeping, and the idea of a haunted hotel just makes me feel a little uneasy. And did you say I could bring a flashlight as a safety measure?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
If it's not there during the light, I don't see any real reason why it's going to be there when the lights go off. So I think most people are get afraid when it gets dark out. I don't know. That's kind of I think that's part of our way we've evolved too. So yeah, flashlight, you can use it as a weapon and to just make sure the light stays on.
Yeah, I'll say this as somebody who I have to admit sometimes can get a little afraid of the dark. It's not nearly as bad as when I was younger, but I can feel spooked in a moment and just want to flip on a light or run out of the room or whatever. It's a totally irrational impulse, in my opinion, but it's still there. I can't make it go away. So I guess my question would be, it's kind of like with Otangelo. He came up with explanations for a natural phenomena that he came up with an explanation that fits what you'd expect to see in a natural world and try to make something supernatural out of it, right? So what I suspect is what I have to suspect is happening as somebody who can get freaked out by the dark sometimes. If something is there when the lights are off, but they go away when the lights are on, and it aligns with our general feeling of being spooked by a creepy environment, then it's probably just you being spooked by a creepy environment. So from my perspective, I don't mean to downplay any feelings you're having about it or whatever. My approach personally would just do whatever I needed to do to not be freaked out by that environment, and kind of try to recognize what my feelings most likely are. That would be my personal approach.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to having feeling uneasy in the dark. That's probably where my feelings come from. And like I said, I don't really think ghosts are real or anything, but I was just reading some of the I don't know, myths, legends of this hotel, and yeah, they're just very scary. And
one coping mechanism you might want to start with is reading less of that if it freaks you out. That's I'm not trying to be snarky. That's just a suggestion. If that gets you riled up.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's probably a good idea.
I think you're going to be okay. I think, bring a few things, maybe set up a test if you're feeling brave, and maybe call us back after and tell us if anything happened and how it went for you.
Okay, I think I could probably do that if I live to tell the tale.
Okay. Thanks for calling in. Talk to you next time.
Thanks.
That actually, like, as much as like that can feel like kind of like a silly topic, like I'm being totally serious that like I was really afraid of the dark, and I would be afraid to like walk around corners and things like well into my adulthood, well into like being a parent myself. Um, and I actually like I went to a hotel a couple of years ago in Canada here that was supposedly haunted, and I think I was kind of like early in my deconstruction at that point, and I I distinctly remember like a lot of people around me were really freaking out over things, and really for the first time in my life, really kind of questioning like, is there any reason to be afraid of like these stories? Like they are these really fantastical stories about like all the people who died in the hotel, and like people who had come back and like visited the patrons that were there. And I think also like looking into like the origins of like where ghosts like the ghost stories come from, like what kind of tricks our brains play on us, and like our entity detection systems in our brain. Like there's a lot of good reasons why we get freaked out in the dark, or why we get freaked out when something like rustles to our left or something like that. Look, understanding how the brain works is a really good way to take the superstition out of it. And even though like I still do get startled, I can get like spooked. I can watch a show and something can jump out and scare me, but it doesn't like keep me up at night anymore. I don't have nightmares anymore. So I don't know. But that was all very, very real to me when I was a Christian. And I think it's maybe because of the flavor of Christianity, or sorry, I shouldn't say flavor, part of the denomination that I was in. We really did believe in things that went bump in the night. And it was a kind of a scary way to live. I don't know.
Yeah, what at a cabin that my family has, when I was younger, um, I used to sometimes get sleep paralysis and various feelings that went with
Mhm.
that, and I would get it there pretty bad because I'd have irregular sleep. And so once we found a beer bottle in the cabin, and once I experienced sleep paralysis, and because of the upbringing and the way I'd been taught to understand weird or creepy experiences, I thought that there was a demon in the cabin and that it had been brought there by somebody drinking. And
Oh,
so
yeah, I
yeah,
can see how you could get there. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I don't think I took that really seriously even through most of my Christian life, but I do have that experience. I'm not much into horror movies, but if I watch something, not like people running around slashing or whatever, if I watch something weird like The Sixth Sense or something like that, I'll feel weird in the dark afterwards. I know it's totally irrational, and I don't think it's as bad now as even it was earlier in my adulthood, but that feeling's there, and you just have to process what it is and recognize that it's very unlikely that a ghost or a demon is going to get you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I totally relate to that. Like I used to get sleep paralysis as well, and I think that's like when people tell me their stories of these encounters that they have, like I really feel for them, because I remember being genuinely scared out of my mind at certain times growing up. And even like I don't know, the last time that I thought I like I saw something was probably like 5 years ago, and like it really bothered me for like months and months, and I would have nightmares about it. Totally had the sleep paralysis feeling where there's like something on your chest. And I know so many different people who had different stories of I mean, ghosts are a big one. Demons are even bigger from where I grew up. But yeah, I don't know. It's there's nothing there. I don't think there's any way to prove that there. I mean, there's no reason to be afraid of the dark. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if you do have a cool story, like call in and tell us about it, because we want to know like what is making people still believe that there are things that go bump in the night.